Hello everyone! In today's tutorial, I will guide you through the process of setting up a realistic water shader in Blender 2.8 and we'll be rendering that with EEVEE. I've seen quite a lot of people setting up crazy node setups to make water, but don't worry, I'm going to show you a very simple and effective way to make a water shader in a matter of seconds. Yeah, you've heard right, seconds. Just follow me. We'll need a simple scene to test our shader, so I've already set up a basic riverbed made of pebbles with some mud and grass on the sides. I used a fluid simulation to obtain a mesh that represents our water, just to have some imperfections on the surface, like waves for example. That's always better than just creating a flat plane on these cases. And finally, I've also set up an HDRI environment map that will give us lighting for our scene and nice reflections on our water. What we need to do now is creating a new material and build our shader to make this water look good and believable. So let's select our object and go to the materials panel, click on new, let's call this water. As usually, we'll be using nodes to build the shader, so now we need to open our shader editor. I want the shader editor on the left and the rendered viewport on the right. Personally, I prefer this configuration when I work on a materials setup. Now let me explain my idea. Think about water in real life. Its main physical feature is that it's transparent and has a reflective surface at the same time. We could use a transparency node, mix that with a reflection node, add glossiness and other stuff, and build a super complex setup. But I want to suggest the simplest way of achieving the result. The idea is to use a glass shader node and mix that with a transparent shader node, setting the proper IOR of water, which is 1.33, and tweak the mix factor on the shader node to get the right balance between reflectivity and transparency. And I assure you the result will be very good and realistic. I first add a glass node. We could already connect this to the surface node of our material, setting the proper index of refraction to 1.33, and we obtain a nice material. But if we look at the water from the top, we don't see any transparency on that, and that's not good because we all know that water is not only reflective but also transparent. Let's bring that transparency in. Let's add a new node here, Shift A, click on search and type transparent and add a transparent shader node. We have to mix that with the glass BSDF that we already added, so Shift A, search mix and select the mix shader and connect the transparent node to the second socket of the mix shader. And nothing will happen until we go under the surface section of the water material here on the right panel and change the blend mode to alpha blend, and now we can also see the transparency on our object. But actually I think it's too transparent, and I found that a good mix factor between the glass and the transparent shaders is approximately 0.2. We can raise that value to, let's say, 0.3. I think now it looks better. You can see that we have a pretty good result. We can see nice reflections on the surface, and our water has a good transparency level that makes it look really good. Okay guys, I think we can call it complete. Thanks for watching. If you have any comments or questions, feel free to put them in the comments. I hope you enjoyed this tutorial so far, and if you did, please leave a thumb up. And if you like my videos, you can also subscribe to my channel just to be sure to not miss new videos and tutorials in the future. You can also find me on my other channels like Twitter, Instagram and Patreon. I'll leave all links in the description of the video. And that's it.